the most sinister, the most powerful and the most expensive Golf I have ever reviewed is this one here. This is the updated VW Golf R, recently facelift for all the Golf models and now also for the R version. We're gonna drive it here today for you as the Black Edition. This is also one of the new things coming up, even for the US market. We'll tell you all about it. You need to know with Thomas Nautical Fuel in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go here with the now illuminated VW logo in the front. So this is then new with the whole facelift, also counts for the R, and then the light strip here leads over to the headlamps. And they have also been restyled, now in a more likable design. There were positive comments about that, because before that everyone said, yeah, the headlamps look better in the previous generation. Now they fixed them a little bit, let's take it that way. Optional IQ light, the Matrix LED, which is standard here also for the Black Edition. Then you already have in the front these cascading turning indicators. Black accentuations all over the vehicle. But you can also get the Black Edition in white. Then it would look like white body color, but then everything else, accentuations and wheels also in black. And they come always in black, you can see it also right here. 18-inch would be a standard Golf R wheel in the EU, 19-inch already standard for the Black Edition, 19 inches already standard in general for the Northern American market. And this one here is an extra on top. These are the forged wheels in a different design, and they also bring down the weight of the unsprung mass, so it's even better for performance. The length, 4 meters 28, 169 inches, typical hatch style. This is here their hottest hatch, so to speak. It's also available in the variant in the EU, the estate version. That is also a very likable model, definitely adds about 1,000 euros on the price. Then we have this really blacked out style also in the rear. Added wing and new tail lamp design in a three-dimensional styling, and here once again when you hit the turning indicators they look even more spectacular. Then in the lower part, this is the most costly extra. You already have a performance exhaust, but if you want to have even better sound, then here the Akrapovic exhaust. This one adds more than 4,000 euros to the price, but yeah, at least sound-wise we can listen to that if it's really worth it. Now we'll take a look under the hood and beep, 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 because the daytime running light is on. That is more beautiful for you on the visual part. Before we open the hood, quickly about DCC, Dynamic Chassis Control. There has been a software update that is even more dynamic. So it's the adaptive suspension. It's 20 millimeters lower in comparison to the standard Golf, and it basically rules between the span of comfort and sportiness. It's also standard for the Golf R in general, and we'll also see how it performs here today. Then about the engine, 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo, no gas struts. Put it up like this. This one here now at 333 horsepower, so 13 horsepower more than before. And the acceleration figure is at 4.6 seconds for the hatch. That's 0.1 seconds quicker than before. 0.2 seconds slower would be the Golf R variant, so at 4.8 seconds then. There's an all-wheel drive system, so front plus rear on demand. And the special thing is here with the Golf R that it has a torque split in the rear. And that means that you can send more torque to the curved outer wheel, that we can push the car a little bit more into the corner. So this actually reduces the effect that you feel that it would be front wheel biased. You know what I mean? So from the power you can send to the rear, then you can actually distribute it between left and right. And this really helps in the driving dynamics. And you can even use a drift mode if you like, and if you would have like an open field. And yeah, I mean, when it's dry, also not that good for the tires and so on. So, but it's at least available, let's take it that way. And this Black Edition here automatically comes with the performance pack, which also enables you to use special driving modes and also unlocks the top speed from 250 to 270 kilometers an hour. Launch control. Now I want to do an interesting test actually with the launch control, either in the race mode plus ESC to sport, or then in the drift mode, which is then usually thought for that you can really like drift it when it's a little bit wet, also like in this open area and so on. However, also take a look at the influence that the drift mode will even have on the acceleration, how much more loose the tires are actually. Let's check it out. First, just start, race plus ESC Sport. Now, with the drift mode, which automatically goes basically in an ESC Sport mode. Interesting, isn't it? There you have seen actually that with the drift mode, even just when accelerating straight, we put some tire stamps on the road actually with a little bit of wheel spin when accelerating, which is of course spectacular, but not good for the performance. Then with the normal race mode plus the ESC Sport, which enables the race start, the launch control, then actually we could get better traction on the ground. So very interesting, that comparison, isn't it? Door closing sound is okay, but honestly I also heard it better for the Golf in the past. Not sure. Then here inside of the doors is a little bit softened up just in the top. Then optional real carbon fiber decal element. That is of course looks more premium and so on, but you have to pay for it extra, about €1,000 actually. Then the grey microfiber, that's actually pretty decent. And we also have fabric on the inside of the doors. Then the R also comes with a special R steering wheel, blue contour stitches, no alternative to animal skin yet from the material. And also special for the R, you have here the #capacitive BS buttons. The GTI now goes back to the rear buttons. This one still has it because you have the R button to select the driving modes here. What they have done, however, is make them less sensitive, so there will be less unintentional press. That's what they say. We're going to find out if that's really true. The seats, these are the standard seats, these in the EU. Fabric on the inside and the grey microfiber. They look cool, also feel nice. It's also good that they don't get that hot. In the US configurator, I can only see the otherwise optional animal skin here for the Golf R, however. Well, in the seating comfort here, ergonomics is really good. Also for tall persons, you also get caged in, hold tight without being too tight. So it's really good. And with 1A9 602, there's a lot of headroom left. So I really like the seating position. They now, by the way, also update here the shifting pedals. They are larger here now, you can see, so you can easily hit them. Also, I'm looking forward to how they perform while driving. The steering wheel, up and down, in and out, manual control, that's fine. Interior cockpit overview. First of all, here the optional real carbon fiber is even more visible right here. It looks really stunning, yeah, if you want to pay the money for it. Then soft touch here for the dashboard, also structured, and the glove box is also properly dampened when it falls down. Just here, I'm not sure if that could be a little bit more aligned here from the gaps. Shouldn't it? What do you think? Then new here with the facelift for all the Golf models, and 13 inches, also standard for GTI and for the Golf R, so it's bigger than before. Therefore, on the inside, it's also larger. It's also quicker than before, a little bit more reliable. Not saying that VW has the best software in the world now, but it's definitely a very useful upgrade. Then the middle console in the lower part. Here, the shifting lever is integrated. Only DSG, dual clutch transmission. The manual is no more. Nowhere, actually. Then in the very front, you have two USB-C chargers here. Then a nice illumination. That's actually pretty cool. But then for the inductive charging pad, you have to put your smartphone underneath. It is cool though, so then it shouldn't overheat. But I mean, I think for mine, it should still fit somehow. But then you... who thought about this? It probably was designed when, I don't know, there were, I don't know, like mini smartphones. No idea. Then here, this area, you can make yourself a cup holder or push it back again. That's also possible. And armrest, some space underneath. But this is here like, really solidly built, and also soft and here for your elbow. So yeah, it's a nice position here, definitely. So it's not too much. Some things could be more manual, like the climate unit is here then in these sliders, and you have some hotkeys like here for the climate unit or something. However, to access the driving modes, as I said, that's the one advantage of this steering wheel with the #capacitive buttons. You have the R mode button here, then the driver POV. I have to say this feedback from the R button is not the best. You press it and it's still a little bit through thin air. Yeah, I really don't like it. The only advantage is, yeah, that you can click through the modes here but still, then, yeah, it doesn't really, there we go. You know, when you press and hold and then release it, then it hops to the race. Instead of press and hold and it directly jumps. You have to release it first and then it jumps to the race. Strange. Then here the instruments, you have different views available. I like this large RPM meter view, for example, but you can also do it like that. Then head-up display. Sometimes flickers on camera, doesn't do for your real eye and also appears bigger on your real eye. And then here the infotainment system said it's better now as for the hardware, it's more stable, it's quicker and a better overview. Also, for example, here to the assistance systems, if you want to quickly deactivate some of the assistance systems, that's definitely easier possible now. And pretty neat feature, there is this emotional startup feature, and it works like that. Usually when you start up the vehicle, it just goes like a little bit in the RPM, like boom, 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 boom. That's it. Not that very loud. But then you can press and hold the start-stop engine button and then press the brake. Then it just this emotional startup goes to like 2,500 RPM, and then you also hear that more prominent from the exterior. Rear seats, first of all, inside the doors, all hard pack here, but we have the nice microfiber and also felt covering from the inside of the rear doors. That's nice. Then here the R seats, they have these pockets here at the back part. This is all leatherette. Another pocket in the lower part, top tether for the child seats, and also ISOFIX on the outsides each. Then we can fold down this here. These are not adaptive cup holders though, but this is then the ski hatch you can fold down. And the offering of space is limited, especially for legroom when a tall person is driving like me. That's the thing. Short wheelbase, only the A3, the Audi A3 and the Golf hatch have the short wheelbase here in these siblings. The Cupra Leon, the Skoda Octavia and also the Golf variant, the estate version here of this one, they have longer wheelbase version, so then you have more legroom. So if rear legroom is important, you would go with the Golf R variant. Then the headroom, this is actually fine with 189, 602, that's okay. And the base ergonomics is also fine, it's just that I don't have too much legroom here. Let's take a look at the trunk or the boot. Flipping the logo to opening it, and the cabin trolley also fits in vertically. Then 1 meter or 40 inches in width here, and the length about 75 centimeters or 29 inches. And underneath I have more space, this is in here than the subwoofer in this case, and 2/3, 1/3 split here of the seats or the ski hatch, and the total length is about 140 in meters or 55 inches. And the height here of the boot is like this, it's about 68 centimeters or 27 inches. And now everyone, it's time to take the most powerful Golf to the most powerful motorway, the German Autobahn. That was movie scenic I like, right? We're in the race mode. Let's use this Auffahrt already. Beautiful job here. S combination, really nice. Now I'm a little bit more on the brakes, so we can accelerate out from lower speed. So from 50 and let's go. That should be enough for now, 240. And still at these high speeds, I mean, yes, wind noise have picked up significantly, but like chassis wise, it's still behaving really nicely. This has been set up on the Nürburgring Nordschleife as well. Now hard on the brakes, really good braking performance as well. Felt actually really stable and nice on the German Autobahn here at these high speeds. So kudos to that indeed. It's really cool. Let's do some lane change here. 120 kilometers an hour, like 70 miles an hour. Really nice. So here steering input also really progressive, don't have to steer much. Fine feeling, no dead zone area. The car feels indeed very light, agile and compact. That's pretty cool. Also when we did this initial S combination, for example, that's really nice. Here in the race mode, although the suspension is tuned on the sportier note, we still have enough comfort left, definitely. So this DCC is doing a great job in delivering both, actually. So just to show you that the difference, if we go to the comfort mode, for example, then the suspension is like this threshold is being shifted to one side. Now it's a little more forgiving. Here, this is like this, maybe these motorways where you have these concrete plates and they're connected to each other with a transverse joint or something. Then you often feel that, but here it's evened out pretty well. 19-inch wheels on there, like standard on the Northern American market or standard also for the Black Edition everywhere. If you want most comfort and can get the Golf R with 18-inch wheels in your market, that would also be possible, because with 18-inch wheels it will be more comfortable. Then here also I'm picking this really, like this. There's some holes in the road probably. They fixed that, so that's nicely done. Yeah, pretty cool. Really like the suspension. Then we can go back to the race mode. We can also activate it here. Let's go one more time. Nice. And that's 200 again, 125 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, wind noise, yes, the Golf is not the most silent vehicle. It's also still a compact segment. So, but the stability it has at high speeds, really, and also when we're at high speed and do a lane change here, it feels like nothing, So the car can handle higher speeds really easily from the confidence it gives you. So, fan of the steering, fan of the DCC. Not a fan of the noise insulation necessarily. I would say comfortable is like 120, 130 kilometers an hour, like 70, 80 miles an hour. That's comfortable from the noise insulation part or something like that. Also, when we shift ourselves here, the shifting pedals, they can't be missed because they are larger now. So you can shift down yourself, shift up yourself. That's a lot of fun actually. And also with this Akrapovic exhaust, we just get even more feedback from that. That's really, really cool. We can also get off this parking lot there to get onto the motorway even quicker again. To show you one more, it's really a lot of fun, definitely. So in this compact segment here, definitely among the fun machines. We recently had the BMW 135, so that is then also in this new generation, and that was also a lot of fun and really powerful. And because you always ask me for these comparisons, they are indeed also direct competitors. The Golf feels, let's say, a little bit more upright, a little bit more conservative in driving, let's take it that way. The BMW feels even sportier, I have to say. The suspension, I would say, is giving you here more comfort, more forgiving when there are some bumps. But the BMW, I would say, gives you even more driving fun. So, and that's tough to top here with the Golf R actually. So just from like this, I'd say, perceived driving fun. Oh, the Akrapovic exhaust is nice when you get on the gas, and then sometimes happens when you leave off the gas, and then that's pretty cool. Plop, 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 plop. That's pretty fun. And let's now just shift ourselves. That's cool. Nice clicking feedback. We had some nicer shifting levers which hammer in more. That would have been cool. Yeah, and of course it would be nice still to have a manual option or something. That would be still cool to have that. But in the US it actually had a high take rate, about 40%. But they said it didn't still really pay off because in other countries the manual was not that thought after, and then it didn't really financially pay off to still offer that. That's the thing, By the way, what about when you are in the comfort mode? Then the RPMs are lower, suspension is softer, as I mentioned earlier. And I have to say, really, does it really pay off that much to use the R button? I'm not so certain about that, because to me it doesn't give you the best feedback. Now it's less sensitive, so it doesn't happen so much then that you press it unintentionally or something. But then again, you have to say, it's harder to press now. So there's pro and con, at least on the other side with the heated steering wheel. That definitely, you don't hate it that much unintentionally now with this new software setup. And then assistance systems, let's check it out. Here, set the adaptive cruise control. There's also the travel assist available. You can pick either travel assist, ACC, normal, or the speed limiter. And here the travel assist also keeps you in the lane, actually. And see here, it does it in a very smooth way. So that is actually well done. And I can also show you the blind spot monitor integrated here in the left mirror. Now, yeah, there is. So that is very visible, good feature definitely to have that, really adds to safety. So yeah, I mean, assistance systems wise, everything works well so far, definitely. And now we get you some more off motorway driving, also like how agile it is when we get off the motorway. And I think for that one more time we go to the race mode or something like that. It's actually pretty nice. Drift mode, of course, is nothing for public roads. It's a nice turning indicator sound as well, right? Really classic one, not too exaggerated. Sometimes we have pretty weirdo runs, but this is actually fine. And like now driving like 100 or something, that feels like nothing. Now it's really pushed into the corner. Again, the car is not too heavy, so don't have to be afraid of that. Really, look at that, how smooth the corner's being carried. Hardly anything to do on the steering wheel, and then I can accelerate out with that torque split. Nice. And the torque split then gives us the confidence that we can really take this corner also like when we accelerate out with the all-wheel drive. Nice. Yeah, so also when you accelerate out while cornering, yes, it is a front-wheel driven platform, and it does feel different than you would drive a pure rear-wheel driven sports car or something like that, but since also so much power sent to the rear wheels, and then also with this torque split, they really have achieved that you feel this front wheel bias as least as possible. And I mean, it also has advantages. It keeps you more on the track when there are some slippery situations. There's just not this high danger that the car would slip out from the rear and you crash against anything there, you know. So this is always definitely pro and con, but handles so well. Also, if we go some, you know, at lower speeds into some slalom area here, this is also the advantage of taking like a normal vehicle, not building like this super high car or something. On the one hand, you get a normal car feeling, and you say, yeah, I could just take it to work every day and back again. But then again, you can unleash the wolf here in this vehicle. Then it is a very sporty vehicle. And that's the cool thing about the Golf R. And also when we accelerate here out again, and, beautiful. You really feel this torque split, especially when you do stuff like that. And sometimes you would wait maybe for the corner to be over and then accelerate harder. But here you can really start accelerating in the corner, and it pulls you out there. So you can actually help exiting a corner with the throttle. That's you know how it works here, and that's pretty cool feeling actually. So yeah, really like the driving behavior here of the Golf R. About pricing, starts at $48,000, at least the sofa version. Let's see how it behaves with the facelift. In Germany, this one here starts at 55,000 euros. Without the Black Edition. This adds 5,000 euros because then you have the bigger wheels and some of the performance pack extras and so on. But then with the exhaust and some other extras, this one can almost reach 70,000 euros. And yeah, as I said, the most expensive Golf I have ever reviewed actually. So yeah, then you start thinking what else you could possibly get for that. However, in the compact segment here, among the compact hot hatches, has a great driving experience. So very agile handling, and you exactly know what you're doing with this vehicle. And with the technology, with the torque split and so on, you can also make it, let's say, least front wheel bias as possible for this very platform. So that's actually pretty cool. Recently, we also discussed in the comments about the reliability of the Volkswagen Group in general here at this moment. So at this moment, I would really lease new and then give it away after the leasing. Buying and keeping is at the moment not the best idea because of the bad reliability figures. And you've seen it in the comments, everyone who commented on that, most of them had bad experience with buying used and keeping them for a longer time. So we gotta check out that before. If you are a Golf customer, and especially a Golf R, please post your comments. How about the reliability if you are a long-term owner, so we can also prove that. Or maybe some also say, hey, I bought the Golf and it runs for 10 years without any issues and without any warranty problems and so on. So yeah, always welcome to join the comments about the concise customer experience, because then we can deliver even more here for the community as a whole. And now it's time to check out, if you don't want to spend so much money, maybe with the Golf GTI.